Step out of the shadows, step out of the shadows. good morning, Wesley. Thank you for joining us this morning. My name is Scott, and I'm one of the pastors, and perhaps you aren't familiar with our church, and this is our modern worship service, and we are so glad that you have decided to make our church or this service or this time, this video, your place of worship this morning, or maybe you're viewing this at another time, and we're just glad that you have connected with us in this way. As you can tell by the bumper video, we're in the middle of a series called Deep Tracks, and we're looking at some obscure people within the Bible that have, though they have an obscure place, they have a deep meaning, a deep track where their story is not irrelevant. We're actually, because of the holiday weekend, we're going to take a little bit of a break for this week from that series, and I wanted to do something a little different this morning. I wanted to bring to you a podcast that I've recently done with one of our worship leaders, Ryan Abel, and he and I got together and had a little bit of a conversation. We're not going to show the entire conversation, but I wanted to give you a little bit of a behind-the-scenes look at how we choose music, what that means, and why the choice of music is important. We don't look at worship in terms of its the sum of its parts, individual parts. It's really we try to make it cohesive, and so I encourage you to look at this podcast. It's only about a 12-minute conversation, and if you want to take a look at the rest of the conversation, you're welcome to do that. But we take a look at a song that we've recently done, and why that song is important, and how God, through beauty and ashes, is giving us a little bit of hope. You may notice that I've been having some conversations with folks over the last few weeks. I've been doing a lot of behind-the-scenes work at the church, and filming and doing some audio work and recording music. You haven't seen my face, but I've been trying to get together with conversations and really find out where people are experiencing hope this time of year, because it's the gospel of Jesus that provides us that hope. So anyway, I've rambled on enough, but I hope you enjoy this conversation. I hope you enjoy this little bit different way of worshiping. We'll be back to our normal selves next Sunday, and certainly we'll have more announcements coming very soon, very shortly, about when we may be gathering together live for modern worship. So stay tuned for that information in the next week or so. Having said that, I hope you all enjoy the rest of the service, and look forward to connecting with you soon. Take care.
All right, here we go, for real. For real. All right. Oh my gosh. For Mike's sake. What's up?
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is I am Scott, and this is
Big R, also known as Ryan.
Ryan, Big R, and we are here, and we are from Wesley Church in Evans, Georgia, and also Augusta, Georgia, and we are doing a first crack at a podcast. And
Indeed.
I'm sure that is something that all of you guys have come to hear and to see.
All two of you. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
thank you both.
Yeah, Mom and Dad, I appreciate you watching.
Oh, your mom and there's four then.
Okay,
Thank you.
cool.
Thank you,
all
Mom
right.
and Dad.
And so we decided to do a podcast. We think we have great ideas.
Let's not start out with such high expectations.
And we think we have great commentary to offer the world. And we really just wanted to talk about worship and talk about, God stuff. And I think make it accessible for a world out there that I think has some misconceptions about what God could be really about. And so we're happy to bring this to you in this platform, and hopefully you'll enjoy it. Ryan, you have anything to add?
Yeah, I just want, I think it's cool to kind of pull the curtain back, kind of like the behind the music, behind the service kind of ideas, kind of the thought process for me, and give you guys kind of a look that maybe you haven't seen before, and kind of some of the decisions that are made Monday through Saturday as we lead up to a Sunday morning, and then the decisions and the thoughts that are, that we go through, looking back at a service, and some things that we try, they work great, and some things that we think are going to be amazing fall flat. And that's just all part of the process of learning and trying to understand your environment and what hits. And it's crazy because something that hits here might not hit at another church or another place, because every situation's unique. So that's kind of my idea for what this is going to be like, and kind of talk to you guys about songs and why we chose those songs and what those songs mean to me as a person, but also other people in our band and our team. and then kind of see what you guys think and get some responses.
We did a song a week ago. We're actually going to release it, and it's going to be coming out again this Sunday. That we're going to, since we pre-recorded it, and it's a really amazing song. We had some people who were guest singing, and thought maybe you would want to talk about that. I don't want to necessarily reveal it. I'd let you do that, but
Sure.
It was a real powerful moment just for me to be able to record it and be a part of the process of doing it, and kind of what the thought process behind that was with you.
So the idea was, during this time, during this season where we've been online so much, you kind of are always looking for, and even before that, you're always looking for something new, something fresh. Let's switch it up. Let's change the game here a little bit. It really spawned from when I was over here on my birthday, and we were this is Scott's house, by the way, if anybody knows that. But we were over here and hanging out with Scott's kids, and I was in a movie, in a play called Shrek, of course, based after the movie with Mike Myers and all that. But so just one of the ladies who was in that show, her name was Tracy Eubanks, and her name is Tracy Eubanks. Sorry, Tracy, love you. And we're really close there and really hit it off. She played the role of Dragon, and she just has a real soulful voice. And about a month or two ago, me and Rebecca have Rebecca Inman, who's our worship director for our West Campus. We have like this fun sibling type rivalry of who can find the cool new song before the other. And I stumbled on Maverick City Music and was like, whoa, this is awesome. And I sent it to her, and she was like, I know, I sent you Love is a Miracle like 3 weeks ago. And I was like, oh man. So I went back and like listened to all their stuff, and Love is a Miracle just hit me. And for me, it spoke to me a lot, because in my history of music, I have such a wide variety and blend. I love gospel. I love Hillsong type. I love Passion old school. That's kind of where I got my start. And Love is a Miracle just kind of seemed to be like this big, huge pot of awesome cultural worship fusion that just fit. And so I immediately, the first time I heard the song, loved it and was trying to think, how can we do this song?
Yeah.
And so we were able to, luckily, I called Tracy and said, hey, I want you to come to my church. We're recording, and I want you to sing this tune. And she was like, anything for you, Slim. That was her name. My nickname is Slim. And she's like, anything for you. And I was like, all right, cool. And then she called me. She said, hey, my daughter's here. Kennedy's in town. Is it cool if she comes? And Kennedy we were in Hairspray together, and we were in Shrek together. We were in Hairspray together twice. And I was like, absolutely, come on. And Kennedy's incredibly, insanely talented. And so they just kind of came over, and the band that night, this is a true story. The coolest thing about that, this is music for you. Tracy and Kennedy met those people in that band that night. Like, they'd never seen them before. They'd never played with them before. They'd never sang with them before. And that's the beauty of music. I'm in situations like that a lot, where I'm the only person who knows everyone in the circle, in the band. And so it was just a lot of fun to kind of see us all interact, and the energy that it gave Lamar, our keyboard player, and the energy that it gave, Rebecca, who comes from a more charismatic, for lack of a better term, type atmosphere culture, and Ashley Rivera, and it gave them some energy that, that they didn't have, and so it was just a lot of fun to record that tune. And we did it twice. That's all we sent. We did it the first take, and then we did it the second take, and it was done. So it wasn't like it took us 10 hours to pull it off. We played it 2 times.
You know what? One observation I have that was really cool for me anyway was as we were recording, and I go back and I edit some of these videos, but just being there in the room, it was like during that song, time stood still, and it was this opportunity to just say, oh, hey, this is different, and this is amazing, and I can just take a moment to worship. A lot of times, when you're pre-recording things, you're thinking about, okay, are my audio levels right? Are my cameras on? Are we recording? And you're thinking more of the technicalities of things, and it's really hard to be in the moment and just to see Lamar, who's playing keys, just seeing the expression on his face, the joy on his face, and seeing Tracy and Kennedy with the emotion and the expression that they brought. And there's just really the whole sincerity of it was just really impressive. And not that they were trying to be or anything other than sincere in what they were doing, but it was just, for me, it was a powerful moment.
Yeah, a lot of people don't understand when you go on platform or when you're in the band or you're on one of the singers or you're running the technical side with the lights or the sound, you kind of, for lack of a better term, you kind of sacrifice some of your freedom to worship. Because you have to pay attention, like you're there doing something, like the guitar player can't get lost in this moment and then miss a signal and then the train falls off the tracks, And so, but for whatever reason, sometimes things just fit like a glove, man. And like they came, to the campus, and they were at the Bel Air campus, and, they hit it off. We all had a good time, and it was a lot of fun. I'm excited. And the words of that song are really powerful to me.
Yeah, I was wondering if you're going to bring them up. I have them.
Yeah.
Here,
so like Beauty for Ashes. And that's an old phrase, like an old Shane and Shane song was Beauty for Ashes.
Yeah.
So I've loved that phrase for a long time. And I know it's straight out of the Bible, but, you gave beauty for ashes, praise for heaviness, love is a miracle. And there's one more in there I can't think of off the top of my head. I don't have the lyrics in my head.
Well, I want to kind of throw this out there to people who are listening or watching. The first verse I think really speaks to where we are today. I was down in the valley before love came and grabbed me and never thought I'd see the sun again. And without no hesitation, you became my resurrection, all the light that came shining in. And then you've got beauty for ashes. So, I think many of us can attest, at least within the last, 12 weeks, even now, but then even before that in our lives, depending on our age, we've been down in the valley. And
I love the part where it says, I remember that morning that you were singing over me.
Yeah.
And in the Old Testament, it talks about God sings over his people, sings over you. And so I'm just like, like God's actively pursuing us, and he's actively trying to worship with us. And worship, because he's the only thing holy. So it's cool if he worships himself, I guess. But,
right.
He's actively trying to engage us through music. And I think that I've talked to Lamar about this a lot. Music's one of my favorite things because there's just it's universal language.
Yeah.
And it could be sung in but the feeling that you get, you can go to Africa and listen to songs in Swahili and you can feel it without knowing what they're saying, and so it's a lot of fun to be a part of that kind of a moment, and I'm excited that the church embraced it and really seems to have liked it a lot. So it's cool. It's cool when things come to that is a case of when plans work. Sometimes they don't, but that one worked.
Yeah, and hopefully, we are not pretending here. We're not going to take ourselves so seriously where we can't talk about the ways we colossally mess up.
Yeah.
And just kind of giving hope to, even if you're a worship leader and you're listening to this and you're like, oh yeah, I can identify with that. Because I think God's not asking for perfect people, but people who are trying to be perfect. It's like
right.
we're all in this world, on this road, and we're failing miserably at it. But I think the sincerity with which we live and the attempt to live the way God wants us to live, in pursuing a relationship with God is really what this is all about, and leads us to our greater sense of purpose. And sort of one thing that I was thinking about, what I love especially about this song kind of transitioning is this: now I'm dancing out my grave clothes, where you lead me I will follow, you give a light that darkness can't comprehend. And I think a lot of times when we're going through the valley, we're thinking, and we can be consumed by the negative, where in doing so we take ourselves into a downward spiral. And I've had the opportunity to have a couple of conversations in different forms with folks, and there's a question that's common in both those conversations, and we'll be doing that more. But it's I think a lot of times we focus on negative, but where in your life have you found hope? Because we can all have something to feel bad about, but
right,
we need hope. And so I say that in hearing those lyrics, to those who are listening, to those who are
watching,
right? What what is your hope? Like, what we want to hear from you. We want you to respond. This is not something where we just expect you to passively and idly say, okay, cool. But you can email us, Ryan at wesleyumc.net, Scott at wesleyumc.net.
That's a brand new email for me.
Yes.
Brand new. It only took 6 years.
Finally got it in writing, in stone. And then we would love for you to comment. I'm sure this is going to be on YouTube. We're so new. We're just kind of figuring this out.
Figuring it out, man.
So maybe you can leave a comment on the YouTube channel where it's going to go. But and also, if you have songs that have given you hope, or just something, we want to make this a community and make this interactive. So just offer that. Where have you found some hope here in the last few weeks?
Whew, man.
I was down in the valley before love came and grabbed me. Never thought I'd see the sun again. Without no hesitation, you became my resurrection. All the light came shining in. Now I've got beauty for ashes, and I've got joy for mourning. I've got praise for heaviness. Love is a miracle. Now I've got beauty for ashes, and I've got joy for mourning, and I've got praise for heaviness. Love is a miracle. This is more than religion. Glad I made my decisions. Hope reversed the curse I was walking in. Now I'm dancing out my grave clothes. Where you lead me, I follow. You gave a light that the darkness can comprehend. Yeah. Now I got beauty for ashes, and I got joy for mourning, and I got praise for heaviness. Love is a miracle, and I've got beauty for ashes, and I got joy for mourning, and I got praise for heaviness. Love is a miracle. I remember the voice that called me. I remember when my heart said yes. I will never forget that morning. You were singing over me like, yeah. Yeah. You were singing over me like, yeah.
was lost, but now I'm found. I once was lost, but now I'm found. So far away, but I'm home now. I once was lost, but now I'm found. And now my life's song sing. I once was blind, but now I see. I once was blind, but now I see. I don't know how, but when he touched me, I once was blind, but now I see. And now my life's song sing. And now my life's song sing. And now my life's song sing. I once was dead, but now I live. I once was dead, but now I live. Now my life to you I give, and now my life to you I give, and now my life to you I give. And hallelujah, hallelujah, let my life song sing to you. And hallelujah, hallelujah, let my life song sing to you. Hallelujah, hallelujah. And let my life song sing to you. I once was lost, but now I'm found. I once was lost,